Right, y'all, welcome back to Commando Arms channel. Alright, so today we're checking out something from Forces News, and this is going to be all about 4-2 Commando. So this is titled, Royal Marines Trained to Tackle Pirates, Drug Traffickers, and Terrorists. Now, 4-2 Commando looks really freaking sick. If I were to decide between one of the Commando units, I would say 4-2 Commando is probably the coolest, but I probably fit in the most with 4-3 Commando just because, you know, they've done what I did when I was in the Marine Corps, and they focus a little bit more on CQB. But 4-2 Commando, they get some nice kits. Working the maritime stuff is always a good time, especially when you're talking about like doing VBSS and doing CQB on a ship. It's a pretty good time. It looks like in this video, judging by the description, they're going to be doing some stuff with helicopters and fast roping too. So I'm very excited. Hopefully you guys are excited too. Let's check it out.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Okay, and some breaching, I guess. Okay, some Wildcats, nice.
Royal Marines
Fast
from
roping.
4-2 Commando are being pushed tactically, physically and mentally. In this training scenario, they've come off ship to shore and landed in a fictional country where civil unrest is developing.
Nice.
Commando Ed.
Okay, I gotta say, ship to shore stuff was probably my favorite thing I did in the Marines because, like, whether you're fast roping or even just landing the helicopter, going on a ship, like sort of lurking off the coast and then taking the helicopter onto land and again, sort of inserting like that is just really freaking cool. Because then you do your mission and then you can take a helicopter back and then you're just going on ship, debriefing, chilling out. It's just a really cool vibe. And that's some of the most fun that I had when I was in the Marines, at least like in the normal infantry units. Of course, when I was on the recapture tactics team, that was pretty sweet because that was just CQB stuff. But yeah, this stuff is a lot of fun.
Edge is essentially stress testing the Marines of Lima Company in a unique tactical level scenario. They've inserted onto the ground. They've secured an embassy. The XI scenario is one of many contingencies that the Fleet Contingency Squadron may end up facing in the future.
So I'm not familiar with the Fleet Contingency Squadron. It sounds very similar to our Marine Expeditionary Unit, which is kind of like a, not really, I guess kind of like a quick response, but basically a unit that would deploy forward and be on standby to support certain operations. But yeah, embassy support is kind of cool. We had a few different units to sort of focus on that, but it was a duty for the Marine Expeditionary Unit. So I'm thinking that's like the closest comparison I can make right now.
As tensions rise, the mission becomes more complex. Protests on the ground,
Yeah.
attacks by an enemy cell,
Jeez, okay.
and as the situation becomes more hostile, commandos must carry out covert operations to defeat their adversaries.
This is gonna be sweet.
Maritime sniper teams are sent up
Hell
on
yeah.
Wildcat helicopters for reconnaissance and intelligence gathering tasks. The specialists usually provide overwatch from the air and shoot out the engines of enemy vessels, but their versatility allows the team in this scenario to provide extra firepower on the ground where it's needed most.
Jeez, okay. Yeah, things are kicking off really quick.
The commandos
Let's
are
do.
also practicing fast roping from Wildcat helicopters during the day.
Nice pants too. I'm liking their gear. Fast roping is so much fun. It's so simple.
So the maneuver can be carried out in the dead of night.
Nice. Yeah, you gotta watch the ground. It comes
on an
quick at
enemy
night.
compound. Fast roping is a skill that needs to be honed by the commandos, and getting them into position by Wildcats is a skill that needs to be honed by the pilots.
Yeah, that's a very good point because, yeah, when I was doing my either rappelling or fast roping, yeah, we had some of the pilots and their hovers. I mean, I'm not a pilot and I don't aspire to be a pilot, but I gotta say, some of their hovers were very questionable and it was kind of sketchy to be going towards this like hellhole or going towards the back of a helicopter when the hover is like constantly going up and down and kind of going all over the place. Yeah, it's pretty unsettling. But I gotta say, being from so when I was in the Marines, I was a Hearst Master, which basically means you're the helicopter insert extract point of contact, like the subject matter expert. So the biggest thing with operations like this is you need to be safe, obviously, so you're not just sending people down and they're not really prepared to grab the rope or what have you, or that they're missing the rope. You need to do it kind of slow, but you need to do it to a point where, like, if they're afraid or what have you, hey, make a quick decision, like, are you good to go down or not? And if they're good enough, then you send them, because you don't want to have too much of a lull going down the rope, because obviously you want to insert as quick as possible.
So at night we'll aim to be 30 feet above the ground when we're training, and that gives a safe buffer, so it's safe for the troops in the back. But that also gives us a good opportunity to pick some references out the window. And what I mean by references is literally, it might be a brick or a daisy on the ground, something that you can see and you can keep your eye on, and that gives you an idea of where the cab is moving backwards or forwards.
Okay.
And obviously backwards or forwards movement is tough for the guys in the back. But more so, if you're in a confined area at night, you might only have a couple of feet either way that you can move before you could end up with a tip strike, i.e. One of the rotor blades contacting a tree. That would be catastrophic.
Yeah.
So that's probably the hardest element of the job, is to keep the aircraft in a stable hover.
Fast roping enables commandos to be deployed quickly in hard-to-reach places. Royal Marines from 4-2 Commando could be tasked with rescuing isolated personnel, such as downed pilots, deep behind enemy lines.
Yeah, we saw that a bit.
Rescue operations.
We saw that a bit with the trap mission, the tactical recovery of aircraft and personnel. I'm not sure which commando element was doing that in Iceland with the U.S. Marines in that video that we checked out. It can get pretty complicated doing a mission like that, but I think if you're infantry, especially if you're a commando, you can usually execute that. If you have relatively good training and if you have the right support, you can execute that and be pretty successful. So I would imagine they're probably not having just one commando element specialized in that. I imagine that's probably something that all the other commando elements can do.
At this part of the training scenario, as the civil unrest has escalated, the mission is now to evacuate UK entitled persons on the ground, wherever that might be.
What is he doing? Who's that dude? Okay. Oh, nice. That's so much fun. I wonder how many people they can fit on that thing. Damn, that rotor downrush is mean.
Extracting British citizens at risk shows the versatility of the 4-2 Royal Marines. As part of the modernisation of the Royal Marines, this training allows them to work in smaller teams in hostile areas, moving through tricky terrain and practicing commando basics.
No fucks given. I like it. Yeah, so I know with the new tactics, they're also trying to get new gear. So we're seeing the C8 rifles, and we're seeing like the Cry, combat uniform. I think that's what it is. But I know we've seen a little bit of the high cut helmets. I know 4-3 Commando was rocking those, but like the new plate carriers and the new helmets, I haven't been seeing that as much as I was before. So I'm not sure if certain commando elements are just getting that front loaded compared to others, but
right up to covert missions like wiping out the enemy's communication network.
That sounds like a fun mission. Tricky though.
At the base of this pylon, a series of explosives are rigged as quickly as possible and as carefully as possible, so the commandos remain undetected and get into position, ready to take it down.
That's some Call of Duty 4 shit right there. Damn.
With the enemy's communications out of action, it's time to head back to the embassy and prepare for an assault on a building occupied by hostiles.
And this is a cool part, because they are commandos, they're not just going to support the embassy. They're going there, they're fast roping, they're getting key personnel out of certain areas, and then they're going out of the wire and doing these other operations to sort of hinder their ability, the enemy's ability to attack and organize.
Fast-paced and quick-changing nature of this scenario is to emulate any number of operations these commandos could be sent on as the fleet contingency troop.
Okay.
And now it's time to clear the enemy building.
Hell yeah, okay, jeez. Now they're going after them. They're hunting. Sick. Oh, that rifle's so cool. Double tap.
Their adversaries are defeated. Rescuing civilians or military personnel behind enemy lines is just one of the many varied roles 4-2 Commando undertakes, with the next mission just around the corner. Bryony Williams, Forces News.
Dude, everything looks cooler in night vision. And
If
that's
you
a
enjoyed
fact.
this video, don't forget to like and
I keep checking to make sure I'm actually subscribed because sometimes I just randomly get unsubscribed. So if you guys want, check down below. If you see the red subscribe button, that means you're not subscribed. So go ahead and hit that. I would appreciate it. But yeah, sometimes that happens and it's kind of weird. But yeah, a very, very cool video. This is probably one of the coolest ones that I remember seeing from Forces News because it just looked like a lot of fun. I wouldn't say it's simple training. There's a lot of things they were sort of doing here. There's a lot of different operations and they have different assets to support and different things. As far as like the breachers, we can see they had like their DM rifles. They had like the helicopters they were doing the fast roping. There was a lot of pieces sort of moving around for this one operation. But it's pretty cool to think of like, yeah, they're going to support an embassy, but that's not all they're doing. They're going out and they're going after the enemy and they're doing things to hinder their ability. And that's pretty cool. And that's exactly what we should be seeing with the Commando. So it's cool seeing like that Commando reform actually going into effect and them actually, you know, using those Commando tactics, moving around in those small teams and doing all this cool stuff. And of course, having the night vision footage is always just really cool to check out. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. And of course, if you guys took part, let me know because it looked like a very, very fun time. Yeah, I would say if I were able to train with any of the Commando elements, it would probably be 4-3 Commando, but 4-2 Commando, I gotta say, I've been seeing a lot of really cool stuff from them. Maritime stuff is legit. I'm not like the best swimmer, so that's probably why I wouldn't fit in that unit as well. But I gotta say, it's pretty freaking cool to watch them assaulting and using all these different sort of methods and executing all these different missions. That's where you definitely see the difference between U.S. Marines doing something like that, like embassy support, versus the Royal Marines Commandos. But always a good time checking out Forces News. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, hit that thumbs up, comment, let me know what you think. Of course, I have the merch down in the video description if you guys want to go cop some merch. We do have hats now. We have stickers. We have shirts. A lot of different stuff. There's a lot of cool stuff on there now, which is it's pretty cool to see. But yeah, there's a bunch of different designs. If you want to check that out, you can do that. You can check out the Patreon. You can check out the channel membership, or you can just head down to the Discord and talk to other members of the community. And yeah, it's a good time there too as well. But thank you guys for watching. That's it for this video. I'll see you on the next one.